You're a proponent of the nature restoration law. I have reservations around who will pay for the measures that will inevitably be necessary. And I want to give two examples. The first is around agriculture. It is essential to properly pay farmers for their produce if you want them to produce at high environmental standards. I had proposed looking at the cost of production and determining what the minimum cost of production was as part of the Agri-Food Regulator Bill. The Minister said, no, we can't do that because we export to Britain. Now, a 60-cent per kilo gap has opened up between what farmers in Britain are paid and what we're paid, even though the majority of our beef goes into that market. So, if you're not going to support farmers for what the produce that they will not be able to produce because of increased environmental standards, then what measures will you at least make sure that they're adequately paid for what they are producing? Secondly, there's a marine component to the nature restoration law, which is hugely important. Families all over Ireland that are lucky enough will be going on holidays, and the really lucky ones will get to go to places like Spanish Point and Carrigaholt. But they're unsewered communities beside SACs who cannot. Local authorities have no responsibility. Irish Water aren't interested. Okay. So there is no sewage system in either Carrigaholt or Spanish Point beside SACs. And these are communities that want to develop and need to develop with the state. What is the state going to do around putting sewage systems in place?
The nature restoration law, we're satisfied, can be done certainly out to 2030, 2040, utilising state-owned land in terms of restoring nature. It needs to be restored on land, marine, and the urban. Everyone talks about the role, also urban restoration, which is why I said state agencies, Bus Connects, everybody, the NTA, they can't go through amenity parks or public parks anymore and say, I'm taking a slice of that for a corridor. They can't. So we need to get a mindset change. We need to restore biodiversity. We're losing it too rapidly and too fast. The carbon tax revenue, a third of that goes to, or one part of it goes to environmentally improved standards for farmers where they would get income. I do envisage in the future that we should be paying farmers as guardians of our biodiversity and our landscape, which we do in some schemes already, but we need to expand that more and give alternatives as well that would facilitate native woodlands coming back and so on, and it can be done. And the Ombudsman is there in terms of pricing issues and transparency. The new ombudsperson that's coming in now as a result of legislation that this government has brought in, that Minister McConaughey has championed to give far greater price transparency in terms of products.
Thank you very much, Tánaiste. That concludes
questions
on promised
I believe in connecting sewers as much as we possibly can. Irish Water is doing that across the board, but there's limitations in terms of what can be done in any one year.
Thank you, Tánaiste.